Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be discussing the movie Young Washington. So let's get into it. I really enjoyed this movie. I really like history, and Washington, D.C. is my favorite city. I absolutely love going there. There's always so much to see. And I don't remember, or I haven't really seen any film, movies, documentaries on George Washington. So I was really intrigued to see this movie because it was the version of him from his youth or where he's at in his particular journey on becoming the first president of the United States. I thought the film did a really good job, and the young actor who plays young Washington did a fantastic job of showing the emotions of George, because I feel President George Washington was one of our more emotional presidents. Just the things he has gone through, and he's made a lot of mistakes, but he's grown a lot each battle that he went to. You know, starting with this movie Young Washington and him becoming colonel at the end to them being president. It's just so cool to see a movie about him and to learn more in depth on where he came from. I forgot that so many people doubted him. I remember a little bit learning in school that he was going to persevere and keep going on, and he did do that. But I just was shocked on how many people doubted him. Like the British Army doubted him, his family doubted him, and he just kept going. And even though he did get emotional at times, you know, he always used his men as a reason to fight and to not let go. And so I love the moments where once he was done at a certain part of battlefield, he went to the other part where the other men were and the slaves that were there with that was creating the powder, and they all were so happy that he came to help them. And then just the scene with them coming back and him being one of the last people in, like, it was just so cool to see the vibe, the atmosphere, the emotions of people during that time at the very beginning, with him barely having any men to then having a larger army each time he went out. And it was brilliant to see. I loved it all. I don't get emotional during movies, but I just knew when they were getting further in the battle, because they showed this was technically the French Indian War. Every time we went on battlefield, like, I knew who was going to die. I kind of knew how it was going to be. And I was just like, I can't watch this. It was kind of like, I had the same feeling when I watched Narnia movies, where there's a battle at the end and some of them are going to be gone. And it's just like, you just don't want to watch. I liked how they showed how both sides stand up, because I remember growing up in school, you kind of had like rough sketches of that's kind of how they lined up for war. It also reminded me a little bit of those videos that you see when you go to like Philadelphia, or you go to Washington, D.C., Mount Vernon. If you're going to visit like a president's house, sometimes they have like a little video before you actually go through the exhibits. And it kind of reminded me of that, because they kind of had the way it was lined up, and the shots firing, the what do you call those things? I was gonna say catapults, but they didn't have catapults in this. But it was so good. Like, the cinematography was really good. I really liked how they shot the war scenes and the close-ups, and him with the horse like running through the field and like getting shot but like keep going. It was I really, really enjoyed this movie. The writing was okay, but I think it showed the essence of his life at this very moment in time, and none of us were obviously there, but at least gives you a glimpse of what it was like during this time. And I think the costumes definitely helped. It kind of felt like I was in that century, and I applaud them for that, because not many movies, especially if it's set in a certain period of time, they necessarily just don't have the wardrobe because they're trying to modernize it. And I feel like this one stayed true to what it actually looked like back then. And this movie had a lot of heart, and they had a lot of like lessons or advice that George took from people in his life. And they had some really good one-liners that made you think at the end. And I loved the one where he said, "A pawn can still defeat a king." And, you know, we as the people may not have the largest voice, but we can still like make a difference. And I just love the little tidbits along the way. It was really cool. And yeah, it left me wanting more. I hope we get more movies or an extension of this movie if they make it into, I can see them making it into a trilogy if they did do that, because at the end of this movie he becomes the colonel. So it'd be really cool to see him in when he is a colonel and then when he is president. Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. And then maybe we can, oh man, that'd be so cool actually, because then we can kind of see the Declaration of Independence, but then also see him stepping down for presidency for the people. Oh, that would be so cool if they finish it. I think the young actor who played Washington was fantastic. And I loved, like, Sir Ben was in there, Kelsey Grammer, Andy Serkis, Mary Louise Parker. Like, they had some really good supporting cast members for the young actor. And it was just brilliant. I hope everyone comes back for more, because I would definitely love to see it. It was just so good. If you haven't seen this movie, I would say go see it. If you don't really know much about that time, it at least gives you a little bit of a foundation of George Washington's life at the time. I like forgot his older brother was married into the Fairfax family. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Because I knew he was really close to his older half brother, and I knew his dad died when he was really young. And so those were like the two people he looked up to the most. And yeah, it was just really cool to see. That's it for a review on Young Washington. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.